What's up, everybody? I am back with another Indie on an Island video where I tell you my personal experiences marketing my game Badminton Warrior. Now, let me just say up front, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just telling you my experiences and what I found out so far. Okay, with that being said, I want to talk to you about forums today. So, the cool thing about forums is that you control the narrative. What I mean by that is you decide when you want to post stuff and you decide what content gets posted. And that's very appealing because a lot of times when you try to contact press, you don't know when they're going to post about your game, and most of the times they're not even going to post about your game if you're too small. On top of that, you don't know what they're going to post. They can say really bad things about your game. With the forums, what's cool is that you control everything that gets said and when it gets said. So there were 3 forums that I found that were good for this, for independent games. The first is this one called TIG Forums. And I guess TIG stands for the Independent Game Forum. And in the TIG Forums, oh, and I'll post all the links down below in the details so you don't have to write any of that stuff down. But in the TIG Forums, you have something called Town Hall, which is where people usually post announcements about their game, like things going on about their game. Like, let's say maybe a major update or something like that. And then you have the devlogs. The devlogs is normally where I post, and that's more like kind of an ongoing journal that game developers have. So whenever any little thing comes up, they can post it here. And I'm sure there's people that will post in both to try to get the most exposure. I don't think there's any sort of hard rule. So let's see if, oh, here is my devlog. Let's see if I can find it. Here. Badminton Warrior 2D Action Adventure Platformer. And as you can see, I have around 22 posts and 1,337 views. That's the views up here. So let's click on my devlog. Oh, wait, I just had it. Here we go. And as you can see, my devlog is filled with GIFs, texts, talking about the game. I have YouTube trailer, more GIFs, and just a whole bunch of stuff. Now, it took me hours and several days to put up all this information. So this was actually a lot of work. Oh, look, it's my indie marketing devlog. And yeah, so that's my devlog. So that's just one of the forums that I've been posting on. And like I said, I got around 1,300 views. Now, another one that I posted to was called Rocketboy. And I posted to this one because they seem to be receptive to retro gaming. And in Rocketboy, they have something called Creator's Corner. And if you see here, Creator's Corner, I'm at the top, even though I actually posted several days ago. And for a while, I was the only one posting in this forum in Creator's Corner. So I got 2,953 views, and I think I got all those views because I was the only one posting. And as you can see here, still the same stuff where I have a lot of GIFs and a lot of text. And this took me a pretty long time too. I mean, there's crossover between the 2 forums, so, sometimes I'd copy, or a lot of times I would copy and paste the information. But to get it to look good on both forums, it does take time. Right here I posted some stuff about enemies and all that good stuff. All right. Now another forum is IndieDB. This forum's a little different. This one you have to create a profile for yourself, and then you create a profile for the game. So let me see if I can find, okay, so this is my profile and here's my game. So I'm gonna click on my game, and what you do is you write articles on your game, and these are all these articles that I've written. And what happens is after you write an article and you save it, one of the staff people from IndieDB.com will look at your article. And if they think it's front page worthy, they'll actually post it on the front page. If they don't think it's front page worthy, they'll do something where they archive it. I think that's what they call it. And what that means is that it's not going to be on the front page, but the article still will stay with your game. Of course, you might be saying, well, then who's going to see the article? Well, they also have these things called groups that you can join. And when you join a group, you can have the article post to that group. Of course, I haven't found the groups to be that effective in getting exposure. You definitely get more exposure being on the front page. And I can show you if you go to PC All. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so when you click on PC, it's supposed to take you to this page, and then it'll show you game news. Mine's probably gotten pushed way down. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, so this was an update I did. I wrote an article and it got front paged. And let's see how many views. So I got 177 views on this article, 24 today. So that's kind of an interesting way that they're doing it. And it has its benefits and it has its drawbacks, because sometimes what happens is I'll write an article, I think it deserves to get front paged, and it doesn't, and it gets archived, and they don't really give you an explanation why. And sometimes, like this article, I didn't think it was going to get front paged, and it actually did get front paged, so that was a nice surprise. But anyway, like I said, I wrote a bunch of articles for Badminton Warrior, and I got some views off of IndieDB.com. But here's the big question: is overall, after doing all this work, how did that translate into people coming to my store page? Because really what you want is you want to get traffic here to your store page. You want people to potentially look at your game and possibly buy it, or at least play the demo, or maybe wishlist it. And this is the problem with forums, at least the problems that I found. Out of all those views that I got, I set up Google Analytics, and I think I only got around 50 people that came to my store page out of all those days and hours of work. And the funny thing was that there's this, I want to mention this one forum, Hardcore Gaming 101. And this is why I think you should set up Google Analytics as soon as you can. I didn't even know that people were coming to my store page from this forum. I didn't even know about this forum until Google Analytics. And what I found out was that somebody on this forum actually posted about my game and said it looked interesting. And then a bunch of people clicked on that link to go to my store page because a person posted about it here. And that I found that was a little striking, because I did all this work on all these other forums, and I probably got like 40-50 people to come. I didn't even know about this one. Somebody posted, and I got, I think, 15 people that came to my store page because some anonymous person posted about my game. Now, what that says to me is that in terms of self-promotion versus, strangers giving you word of mouth, strangers' word of mouth is so much more powerful. And that's really what you want to try to strive for. I mean, it sounds great with, being able to post your own stuff and self-promote and control the narrative. But ultimately, what's really going to make your game take off, I believe, is if other people talk about your game, not you. Now, with that being said, do I think you should post to forums? And my answer is absolutely. Absolutely go and try to post on Rocketboy, TIG Source, IndieDB.com, because every game is different. Your game may do really, really well on the forums. My game, I got a decent amount of views, but it just didn't really translate into people coming to the store page. So I would highly recommend that you at least try to post onto the forums. Now, the big but here is, if you find that people aren't coming to your store page, or maybe they aren't coming to your website after you spent all this time posting on forums, then devote your energy to something else. Like for me, I used to post maybe once every 2 or 3 days. Now I maybe post once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks, because the forums are not really working for me. So now I'm going to devote my energy to someplace else. I'm not saying that the people on these forums are bad. What I am saying is that it just doesn't seem to be working for me. So I think that's the key to marketing. You got to find what works for your game. Unfortunately, the forums so far has been kind of like a desert island in terms of getting people to come over to my Steam page. Well, that's about it from me. I wish I had better news to report, but when you're starting off with this marketing thing, I think there are going to be a lot of dead ends at the beginning, and you just got to keep trying, and you got to keep, it's kind of like you're experimenting. Most of the times you're not going to get the exact result you want right off the bat. I think the only way to succeed is to keep trying. Hopefully, eventually something is going to work. Well, that's all I have to say. I hope this experience has been informational for you. I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.